Hello guys, in this video I want to show you how you can run the Ubuntu Budgie desktop in a Docker container. Ubuntu Budgie is one of the most beautiful desktop environments that we have on Linux, so let's see how it performs in a Docker container. If you want to know how to run the standard Ubuntu desktop in a Docker environment, or Lubuntu, Kubuntu, and even the Maui shell in a Docker environment, then you can check out my previous video. The link should be somewhere up there or down in the description. In the description you can also find all the necessary links as well as the timestamps so you can skip any part of this video. Now let's move on with Budgie Desktop. I have already prepared a Docker file, so same procedure as always. I'm using Ubuntu Image as a base, the release doesn't really matter. Then I'm updating the repositories, installing Ubuntu Budgie Desktop, installing XRDP, adding the XRDP user to the SSL cert group, and adding another user, the test user, with the password 1234. So we will connect to the desktop with this user. And then I'm setting some environment variables that the Budgie desktop needs, and I'm writing those into the xsessionrc file in the user directory. I'm injecting this code into the start wmsh file, which will run for every user that tries to connect over XRDP. Then I'm exposing the port 3389, which is the standard RDP port. And then I'm starting the minimum of services that we need to run a desktop environment. I'm starting dbus, starting systemd login, starting XRDP, and just opening the bash shell so the container stays in the loop and waits for incoming connections. And that's about it. Now let's build the image. Go to terminal, new terminal, there it is. Make sure you are in the right folder and write docker build -t, the name of the image. I'll call it Docker Budgie, and a dot for the current folder, and enter. Now let it build. Image is ready, so let's go to Docker Desktop. Here is the image. It has 3.34 gigabytes, so it is a bigger one. And let's start it. And here we need to map the port 3389 to the local host, because we will connect to the container through localhost, and run. Container is running. Let's open remote desktop connection. Here it is, localhost, and connect. We trust. We are connected to the container. This is the XRDP login screen. And now let's connect with the test user. 1234 is the password. Okay. And now we should see the Budgie desktop. All right, here we are. Now here we can see the Budgie desktop. It is more Mac-like with the dock at the bottom. And we also get software updates. So yes, you can also update the system. You can use it as you would in a virtual machine. But I will skip this for now. And I will also unpin this overlay. Now if you look at the top bar here, I'm not sure if this one is themed properly, because I think Ubuntu has a transparent background here and also an icon here. Maybe I missed some of the environment variables, I'm not really sure, but let's go with this for now. First let's open the terminal. Well, the default terminal is not working at all, that's not so great. Now I saw there was a different terminal installed, Tilix. Alright, this is working, so let's use that one, htop. Now as you can see, 1.94 gigabytes in use. This seems way over the top, but I'm getting similar results with different desktop environments running in a container. Maybe I would need to investigate this, because I know it should be under a gigabyte when I'm running it in a virtual machine. So I'm not really sure if this is accurate. So much about htop. Now let's try Firefox. Let's try YouTube. No problem. This one is working as well. I don't actually see any significant lag here. And if I drag the window around, it's responsive enough for RDP, I would say. Alright, now let's try Draw, LibreOffice. The theming is very nice, I like this. So let's try to draw something. Very smooth. The smoothest so far, I would say. I'm really impressed how smooth this is. Now these are the best results so far. Let's try to drag it around. I would use this over the Ubuntu desktop, definitely. I know the GNOME terminal is not working on the Ubuntu desktop as well, but this one is much smoother. Way better experience. Now there is other stuff that doesn't work as well. So for instance, you don't get any audio, but I think this is something Ubuntu and XRDP related, so probably this will be fixed in the future. And also if you go to settings, under network you get this network manager needs to be running. So I couldn't get this one working, but I know I am connected to the internet because I can do sudo apt update and it's getting all of those packages, and then sudo apt install net tools. I can clearly install stuff. If config, so I'm definitely connected, but for some reason the GUI does not recognize it. But other than that, this is smoothest that it can be. And I just love the theming. Alright, let's log out. And now we are back. Now, about the performance of Budgie Desktop. After I recorded the video, I noticed that I did not use the default remote desktop connection settings. For the previous videos, I always used the default settings for remote connection, but a while ago I tweaked some settings here. And now for this video, I used the high color 15-bit setting instead of highest quality 32 bits, and this gave a performance boost. That's why the background image seemed a bit pixelated. And then under experience, for the previous videos I used detect connection quality, but this time I used the lowest setting here, and as you can see everything is just disabled, and also the persistent bitmap caching is disabled, so this gave also a performance boost. Afterwards I tried to set everything back to default, and also highest quality, and then tested again. The performance was a bit worse, but not too significant. And as far as I have tested it, I still think that Budgie Desktop gives you one of the best desktop experiences and maybe even the best performance in a Docker container. And if you really want to squeeze the best performance out of these XRDP sessions, then I would recommend that you tweak some of those remote desktop connection settings here. This will work for the other desktop environments as well. So this is it. You can find the Docker file down in the description. I've also tried to run the deepin desktop environment in a future video. I'm experimenting with that. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified when I release new videos. It means a lot to me. It makes the channel grow. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.